Welcome to my survival series for No Man's Sky, and we're starting this video up on a space station, and I might as well get straight into it. The Frontiers update was released on the 28th of August 2021. If you're watching this in the future, it's a really big update, but I'm going to be completely honest, I'm a little bit disappointed. And I know some of you have probably been watching the other videos made by other YouTubers are probably thinking, why is this guy being so negative? I mean, it is a fantastic update. It introduces settlements, it's got a complete rework of the building menu, and it is exciting in its own right. But to me, I still feel Hello Games has missed an opportunity here, because what effectively this update does is it introduces another major feature. Like before, we've had derelict ships, but there doesn't seem to be anything to tie it together. And one thing that, as far as I know, we still can't do is find a reason for this terminal up here. I come in here and you can see we've still got station core and life support stable online, and it says input override code station override. And as far as I can tell from the patch notes, there's no mention about taking over space stations, which seems a bit of an oddity considering this terminal's put in. But the only thing I can think of is that Hello Games has actually said that there will be a new expedition cycle coming up fairly soon. Now, that may depend on the, what we call it here, the community research, because we can see we're only 25% through tier 2. So I don't know whether Hello Games is going to wait for the community research to finish before they introduce expeditions mode, or whether maybe it's just not ready. Now, what happens is the first time you load the game, I'm assuming this is with existing saves, you get a mission which is, like, stick the right one, that's this one here, what points you to your first settlement, and it just seems to be triggered by you leaving the space station. Then you get a communication come up and it points you to that settlement. But before we leave and go and check out that settlement, what we're going to do is I just want to show you something over here. And if we come into the cartographer here, and we got exchange specific charts, you see there's now a new option down here where we can actually buy a chart that will allow us to find another settlement. And I'm actually going to buy one of those. Now, as far as I know, settlements work like bases did when they were first introduced way back on some update years ago. And that is the fact you can only have one settlement at the moment. I say at the moment because, as I say, when bases were first introduced, we were all restricted to one base. And eventually the ability to have multiple bases was then added as well. So what I'm going to do in this video is we're going to go and check out this settlement. Now, this video isn't going to be a tutorial on how to set a settlement up, because I don't know. All I quite literally did is play about half an hour on another save game I had, just so that I could check out the building options on a base. And when I started this series, I was on the Nexus and I wanted to come to the space station to check that terminal, and I actually got the message for where this new settlement. So we're going to go and check out this here. It says settler, and we'll see what this is actually going to be. Now, I have watched a couple of videos by a couple of YouTubers where they've kind of given overviews of the settlements, but I deliberately avoided any like tutorial type videos about how to do things. As I say, you can, as far as I know, you can only have one settlement. It's definitely not there, is it? Fly over the top here, and here's the settlement here. You can see it's made up of multiple buildings, and we'll just come in, if we can land that. The knowledge stone over there as well. Go and get the knowledge stone, because we're going to need more language in order to interact with the residents of this settlement. So that actually puts a bit more of an emphasis on the need to learn languages. You can see this is the way the settlement looks, and this settlement is actually an example of the new items that are available in the base build menu. I think what Hello Games actually did is they put these settlements together, and then they brought in the objects they created for the settlement were then added to the build menu, and they revamped it completely in the end. But of course I can't show you that yet unless I go to a base. got to look round. To claim the base, what we've got to do is go to the centre. I know that much. So we're going to just go in here. This is a... Where is the terminal? Oh, there it is. Ah. It says accessing current settlement interface access granted. Current overseer status missing. Deceased oversight position available. Might be an overseer. What you get here is an overview of your settlement and what it's worth, so you can decide on what you want to get. Now, one thing I do know is that you need a productivity that is either over or close to this maintenance cost, and it's not particularly that good as well. But I don't know whether that's actually we've got to pay that, or whether you've got to build the settlement up so it can actually make the money. You see, it's got a population of 44 citizens, 11% happiness. Got salvage drones, increased productivity. Highly radioactive, because we are on a radioactive planet. Built on sand, built on cursed ground, network. Not a very good settlement. I don't really want a settlement on a... Well, I think what we'll do is we'll accept it. And I know that the mechanism for claiming another settlement is exactly the same as when it used to be with a base. But to move to another settlement, you just got to find another settlement, claim it, and then this one becomes a free base one. Is construct an overseer's office. Now the question is, how do you construct something? Let's see. Oh, over here. And again, this is something I got from watching somebody else's video, but can't do is freestyle building here. It says it needs 210 silica. Like an hour and 20 minutes to build this. We've got a radioactive storm. I don't know if I've got any, but if we go inside, we'll be 43% finished. Get out of this storm. Yeah, we're definitely not staying on this planet. Can we open it? Nope. I'm gonna wait here for a storm to pass and the overseer's office to be constructed. So we need 5 metal plating. Okay. So we need more than... So all we've done so far is built the roof. We've actually got 5 of it. In here. Wait another minute and a half. Just go back in here and wait for the storm to finish. So the storm's clearing. We've got about another 30 seconds to go before everything finishes. I wonder whether I've got enough resources to build this. Push data there as well, so a bit of an oversight. Needs 3 microprocessors. I don't know if I can build microprocessors. Three nanotubes. Just go and we've got another minute and a half to wait. Gonna have a look round and see what's around this area. Got a feeling we're going to need some resources. One thing actually I am curious about is, well, of course this is the new build menu. So we can't put a base computer. We can actually build a base inside of the... I don't think I would want to build a base inside of the settlement. And what you'll see here is that you've got the floating menu above, which gives you the commands that you actually need to do. That's interesting. You can build a base, place your base inside of the settlement. So to be honest, I don't think I would want to do that. I think I'd rather probably do what I've done with the minor settlements previously, is I'd probably put the base out on the edge, and then what we'll be able to do then is integrate the base with the settlement. But I'm certainly not going to do it with this settlement, because be honest, I don't like it that much. This is going to be my test settlement. We've now got our overseers. Jack, hello. Mission new structure office. How do we do that? Oh, terminal. New construction, new settlement status. This allows us to look at the statement. Worried about this money, but I got a bit of money. It's not. I don't think we actually have to pay money. Construction opportunities. Approved factory module. I'd like that because I would like to be making a profit. Okay, we're gonna. What does that do? We are now an overlord. We need 210 magnetized ferrite. Wow. I think I've gotten any magnetized ferrite. It's going to take 1.5 hours. Okay, so we're not going to be able to finish this in this video unless I do a massive time cut. Truthfully, I don't have anything. The visitors arrived in your settlement. We've got a visitor. Where on earth are they? Pioneer working overseers. Use the administration office to greet the visitor. Okay. Let's just go in here and we've got to greet our visitor. Greet settlement visitor. Ranger name scout entity is requesting an audience. Specialist engineer who can buy the latest invention. Some sort of high-speed ship. Settlement debt 2,000. What do we get for this though? Okay, that give us Does it tell us what we've got? That improves happiness, but we've now got a debt. I pay that? Pay a debt to restore production? No. And we've actually got to keep building to get this done. We've actually got a B-class settlement. We can rename it. That says reduce debt by constructing buildings and investing in settlement features to increase production and reduce maintenance costs. Okay, so there's a kind of an economic balance there. Sentinel alert 20%. So I need to work on building up. There's not much we can do at the moment. Everyone's a little bit happier. The status is running smoothly. Currently building projects will complete in 1 hour and 20 minutes. Leave to explore the universe. Is there any way I could build a... No, we'd have to place a base thing here to be able to come back. Actually, just test something. I'm pretty sure when I was watching a video, someone said that you can actually teleport to the base. So let me just find my ship and we'll test that out. And find my ship. That'll be around here somewhere. It is over there. Yeah. I do like the settlement. Worried about recent decisions. I was probably worried about the fact that I think these are thought bubbles. So you're walking around and you see people. New citizen dispute. What on earth is a citizen dispute? Okay. Yeah. It all seems to be done on this terminal. Solve citizen dispute. Geologist entity deity is in dispute with colonists over wiring loom. They claim that the item has proved unfit for use. However, the claimant does not have documented history of the fraudulent claim. Unknown outcome. I think we're going to dismiss it. Just happens. I like the idea of the mystery. Settlement warning. Atmosphere of suspicion. Okay. Maybe reduces citizens' happiness. So that is So his happiness is 19%. This increases as this decreases. I must admit, I would like some kind of statistical breakdown over what the increase actually is and isn't. Why is the debt going up? Is we getting interest here? There was no mention of interest. So why is this debt increasing all the time? Time until cleared infinity. Yeah. Okay. Right, let's just go back to here. I think I'm probably making a lot of bad decisions. This is definitely going to be my test settlement, and then when I find a nice planet to settle on that's got both a settlement and a good location for a base, that's why we're going to set up our permanent settlement. So this is just test project 1. If it all goes wrong, you can always run away from the debt, is it? Because we're not going to pay for it ourselves. So we'll just go in here. What we'll do is go up into space and launch thrusters. You guys are getting very tedious. Wow, we found some hot ice. Yes, where are you? We might be. This could be interesting. It's 4 under 1. Ooh, this could be. One down. Again, they still haven't really revamped the combat. We can overheat to recycle weapons. That disappeared very quickly. Where are you? Where are you? I'd like to make some space for my loot, but I don't think we're. Well, maybe I can. To the exosuit. We're not exactly in danger at the moment. I think this comes down to. There we are. Yeah, I think this battle comes down to my main misgiving about this update, with the focus very much on settlement. Nothing seems to be tied together anymore, and I can imagine from a perspective of a new player, all these new features, but there's no like storyline that ties it all together. Like we had derelict ships, which were great, but they don't seem to fit in the context of the game. Now we've got settlements, and again, there's no storyline that ties it together. So I can imagine that if you had a completely new player coming in the game, they'd hear about all these features, but would they actually understand it and relate it to the game they're actually playing? And this is something I would really love Hello Games to do, is to start improving the lore and tying these elements together so it forms a storyline. I mean, it doesn't have to be a detailed storyline, but I just would like things to fit together rather than being a collection of cool features for advanced players to do. Now, and again, it's spinning back to like riding creatures. Yeah, riding creatures and having creatures is great, but do they serve a purpose? That's the problem. New citizen request available. Use space station teleporter. Okay, so there is a teleporter option. So we're going to go in here. We're going to do a bit of an offload. Oops. Oh, just made a mess up there. Put myself at greater risk than the actual pirates that attacked me. So just going to get in here, offload some stuff. So we'll just go up over here. I think I've, from the point of view of language, I think I've already spoken to everybody here. Let me just see. Call back some more. We got callback word for aesthetic. We can put that. We can decompose that. I like to keep the chromatic metal, magnetized ferrite. Keep that there for the moment. Because what we can do is, I don't think I'm using my, what we call it. Put all this into something that we can make money from. Come into here. I'll sell off the hot ice. I was going to keep this, but I think we'll sell that now. We can probably sell that drop pod coordinate as well. I don't need it because my inventory is really expanded. Anything here that's, yeah, let me just here. So the settlement counts as a base, and it's in this purple color. Off to back to base. So the teleporter brings us here. The only way can we teleport out again? It would be great if this actually acted as a teleporter. We're still running that debt up. That is actually the loss of income, because at the moment our productivity is less than the upkeep. So as things go forward, have a look here. View citizen request. Endorse the event happiness. Now it's 66,000 on the debt. Okay. Yeah, that's why not. Just run up the money. So we're getting rapidly into massive debt here, but we can always pretend we're a private equity company, run up massive amount of debt, and then move to another place and set up somewhere else. So we're now losing. We've lost 236,815 credits, and as I say, that total is increasing because this is here more. So we really need to start. We could end up owing a fortune. Interesting. Hello. No idea what other types of buildings we've got here. What else is around here? To see if there's anything around here that's worth. Magnetized ferrite, 199. A couple of creatures over there. Let's go and scan them for a bit of cash. Yes, thank you, game. Do a bit of a scan. Good technology. If there's any ammonia around here, I don't want a Fecium deposit. I'll go and pick up some as a scan for the plant as well. I can get buried technology some distance away. Get some pod over there. We might as well go and get that while we're here. Okay. Condensed carbon. I think there was something in the patch notes that said that what they've done is they've increased the contrast with the button so that you can actually, when you complete all the features, that upload button actually is a bit clearer now. Actually, I quite like the contrast on here as well. Flora rich. So here we are. We're just back to the ship now. I think what I'm going to do is I can't really do much more with the settlement in this video because we've still got over an hour before anything happens. So I think what we're going to do is go back up into space, and what I want to do is go and check out the Nexus. Yeah, definitely not staying on this planet. Yeah, we're just going to dive in here. But if you pay attention, see the planet there's got aggressive sentinels on. One thing that did occur to me while I was actually flying towards the Nexus was the fact that I did watch one video, and as soon as the player took over the settlement, they had actually a sentinel attack. And I wonder whether that attack is associated with the aggressiveness of the sentinels actually on the planet. So if you're looking for a very interesting settlement there, what you might do is find a planet with aggressive sentinels with a settlement on it, take it over, then fight to defend it. Now the reason I came into the Nexus is that I want to just check out the new options that are available for construction, because there has been a change here. If we come through into this section, got here, and the expedition rewards are available. Yes, I know. If we come in here now, the change that's actually happened with the Frontiers update is the old legacy stuff has been removed, and there's a whole new series of constructions in here, and I just want to check them out. And I think it's to do with wood, stone and alloy. I can't see any changes in here. I can't see anything new there. Got teleporter, okay, short range teleporter, bite beat. I mean I haven't unlocked everything in here anyway. It's flight path. I think this is new. This is a whole load of posters you can use to decorate the base. I think there's a whole load of new items put in here as well. It's decorative modules, large modules, small modules. Wow. And we got flags, curved desk. It's difficult to remember what was here and what wasn't here, because I must admit I've never paid that much attention to the decorative stuff. But we got a whole here, vintage disc, tumbler. So yeah, it looks like we've got very much some stuff in there. Step ladder, large tire. So cement mixer. So it looks very much like now you can kind of put some more other items around your base to make it look lived in, rather than that just the buildings and a bit of a static finish. Spark plug, industrial pump. I think that'd be really great if you put your base next to a settlement, because you'd be able to tie the two together. But of course the first challenge is actually finding a settlement on a planet that you want to stay on a long time. I think another part of the update is the fact that lighting no longer needs wiring. I think the buildings themselves are intrinsically part of the power system, and the wiring is hidden. So I think you can put lights up anywhere you want now. This is all old stuff. This is old stuff as well. And these are the new textures. This is the timber structures. This has been completely overhauled, and I think it's also been extended with new items. You can see the old timber structures are no longer available. Oh, it's two-part now. So you've actually got actual timber structures, and then you've got more roofs. I know there in the patch notes it said about fabric roofs. You've got sail roofs as well. Well, that's cool. I like that. You've got stone structures again. This looks like this is just a stone variant of the timber. A circular window there. Nice to see they've actually put a little bit of a surround around the window as well there. And yeah, so it looks like this categories are split. This is the alloy structures, so it looks like the actual alloy is a bit more colourful than it was before. But we've got a wider range of ramps and things as well. Yeah, flat roof, alloy flat roof, yes. And this looks very much the same as before. Interesting. The containers have been put around. So it looks very much like all the old legacy stuff is, although while it's available to existing players like me, although to be honest I never unlocked most of the stuff of the legacy stuff anyway, so I've got a part list, but anyone's a new player won't have access to the old legacy items, and it'd be quite interesting to see if you restart whether that will actually still happen. In fact, I think if let's just try something out. I come up over here. and I don't remember what base I'm currently on. So if we come into here, and I think this is the one I was working on. This is Paradise Overlook. I think that's in the current system. So go and look at Paradise Overlook. I must admit, I haven't worked on this base for a very long time. So here we are. We're in on the Omni City system. I'm quite curious. We're a long way away from there. I did buy that. Wasn't it? Did I buy one? Yeah, I bought one. There's plot a route, converts data to exosuit navigation mark. Map shows the location of a nearby planetary settlement acquired from the space station cartographer. Select the map and use plot E. I wonder if there is one on this planet. Yeah, we're going to give it a go. And really nothing happens. Do I have to be up in space? Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reload, and then we're going to go up in space and scan from space and see whether that makes a difference. So here we are, we're back again. It's going to jump in the ship and drop a proper save this time. And what we're going to do is go up into space. We're up in space and just come into here. Just do this again. Got nothing. Does that mean there is no settlement in this system? My save beacon. If any of you know how that actually works, feel free to chuck it in the comments, because that's the first time I've ever tried it. Anyway, we're just going to go back to here. I certainly don't want to be stuck with that base. We may have to look for bases in other ways. Let's just get back to Paradise Overlook, and it's been a little while since I've been here. And what we're going to do is just take a quick look at the build options. Right, what we're going to do is just take a quick look. So this is the new layout for bases, in the sense that what you've got is here. What was that saying? I assume that the items here are. So that how you tell exactly by exclamation mark on it. So this is the basic building things, and what you do is what you want to build, you just select. These are the new buildings. It's almost like it's done a direct translation from the old building. Scale, build, cycle part. So you can still cycle through like it did before. There's toggle free placement. Wow. You can actually overlap now. So if you've got it toggle off, it snaps. If you've got toggle that way, it snaps. If you turn it off, naturally, now that's going to be very useful, because one of the problems is joints between two different types of buildings. Toggle camera, toggle wiring. Wait, it's pumping around next to me. A half arch. I'm not exactly sure why that's telling me that items in here. These are the stuff. I think the list isn't complete because I didn't buy everything on the old legacy system. By structures, all the base technology. That's pretty cool. And then of course we got power and industry. Again, I never really bought that much here. And you can see here my My purchases of interior decorating were quite limited. We got a small wedge paving, small paving decoration, and we got wall decors. This is the legacy stuff. So this is the items that I'd already purchased and I can still use, but anyone who's a new player won't have access to all these items here. I think the reason why this has been included for people with existing save games is consistency with the bases they're already building. Because I think people would have been quite upset if they're in the middle of building a base and all these features were changed. Now I would assume that if I started a new game, I wouldn't get access to this because there would be no justification. And I think, to be honest, there's no real practical reason why these would be available. Because if you think we come back to these actually look better, don't they? Yeah, especially the metal. Right, let me just see that. These metal look a lot better than the old metal. Because this isn't the full range. I'm almost tempted to start thinking about rebuilding my base. I like the fact that you can place this in now. I think that actually looks like a proper door rather than these doors here. Though you still won't be able to get these into cuboid rooms. So you'd have to still build out like this way here. So this is where I'm going to leave it. It's been quite an interesting first look at the Frontiers update, and I have to say I do like what Hello Games have done with what they've introduced, but I really do feel that they need to do an update which starts to tie all these different bits and pieces together into a common lore and a story. It'd be really great if the settlements evolved and then they developed a role, and I don't know whether they do intend to develop it, but it'd be great if you could get the equivalent of the mission guy in the space station down on your settlement, and maybe they would send you out on missions from that point of view that benefit the settlement. So I think there's a lot more scope that can be expanded, and of course there's the big one with the space stations, which could possibly be unlocked with the next expedition cycle. Now I think going forward, I think I'm going to stick with the current series for the moment until we find out more about what's going to happen with expeditions. There's also part of me that would say start again and see how this all feels from the perspective of somebody starting out afresh again. Any opinions, feelings, feel free to chuck it in the comments. So until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.